In 1985, the Soviet leadership, headed by Mikhail Gorbachev, announced the beginning of perestroika, the policy caused by a crisis of planned economy. There was a lack of basic necessities such as food and quality clothes. People had to stand in queues for years to buy a car. Due to such circumstances, the government agreed to bring in the elements of free market in the economy and reduce the censorship. This was called glasnost, where the word glass means the voice. 3 democratic elections were held. Before, Soviet citizens used to choose only from one possible candidate, voting for or against. But the result of these actions was more dangerous than expected, because many of the republics which were parts of the Soviet Union demanded an increase in their sovereignty, which before had existed only on paper. On the 16th of July 1990, the Parliament of the Ukrainian SSR adopted a declaration on state sovereignty of the Republic. However, the students were not happy with such a slow turn of events. They were afraid that the communist majority in the parliament can downplay the real content of the Declaration of Sovereignty. Therefore, activists from Ukrainian Students' Union and Kiev Students' Brotherhood decided to take a chance, and they announced a hunger strike at the main square of the capital of Ukraine. On the 2nd of October 1990, despite the psychological pressure from the police, the students came to the square. At midnight, they received an official permission to protest from the city council. During the hunger strike, there were about 49 tents and about 137 people starving. They created their own security to prevent provocations. During the protest, students were not sitting still. They organized several processions on the streets and blocked the parliament, when thousands of people have joined them. That sacrifice from students made the hypocrisy of communists who openly laughed at the rioters very clear. From that laughter, a mass departure from the CPSU began. The first one was a famous Ukrainian writer, Oles Gonchar. Finally, when the workers of Kiev factories had joined the students, the government was forced to implement the requirements of the protesters. In particular, it was decided to retire the head of the government, Vitaly Masol, who supported preserving the centralized union authority. From that time, the soldiers called up in the territory of the USSR had to serve only on that territory. The government refused to sign the new Union Treaty before the adoption of a new constitution of a sovereign Ukraine. A preparation for the nationalization of the properties that used to belong to Communist Party, Komsomol, and Communist Youth Organizations started immediately. In addition, in 1991, a referendum on confidence in the current parliament was planned as well. These events, known as the Student Revolution or the Revolution on Granite, gave an impulse to the development of Ukrainian sovereignty and then establishing Ukraine as an independent state on the 24th of August, 1991.